Welcome back, trainers, and so I want to go over a few things with Mewtwo and Gardevoir here. So if you can't get your hands on a Mewtwo, if you haven't received an EX Pass, I know there's a lot of frustration out there with all that. Let's see alternatives for Pokemon that you can have here. So you can go for Gardevoir. I mean, it's pretty much as good as a Mewtwo, you could say, in a way. Alright, it can learn Shadow Ball, it can learn Psychic, and it can learn a move that Mewtwo cannot learn, which is better than I think almost all Mewtwo's moves, Dazzling Gleam. So, with that said, and you will be getting a boost when it is cloudy out with your fairy move, Dazzling Gleam. Alright, so let's go over their DPS here. For Gardevoir, we have 35.5 DPS, damage per second, and then for Mewtwo, we have 38.9 damage per second, and that has one attack Psychic, and then Gardevoir has two, so quite a difference. But here's what we're going to go over. We're going to go over the stats in just a second, but Gardevoir is not a bad alternative. If you don't have a Mewtwo, I mean, this is my most powered up one. This is level 40. I have another one, but I'm just going to compare this one because it's better IV. Alright, so let's go ahead and go over the stats so we can just clear everything up here. So max CP potential for Gardevoir, 2,964. Mewtwo, 3,982. So there is a big difference, but here's the fun part here. We have attack for Gardevoir 237, Mewtwo 300, defense for Gardevoir is 220, defense for Mewtwo 182. So I mean, Gardevoir has that going for it at least. Stamina 136 for the Gardevoir, and then Mewtwo 193. So obviously Mewtwo is the better option here. But I mean, if you can't get one, or if you want to know what else can I power up other than a Mewtwo to help me take out fighting types, or whatever else you're trying to take out, then you can go for that. Basically, I think you're going to mainly want to use it for if you're trying to solo a Machamp raid. I mean, those raids shouldn't be so difficult to even solo with a Gengar. But I'm just trying to give you a little option here, show you the differences between the two, because they're both very good. If I had to pick one to go into battle with to fight a Machamp, granted it didn't have steel moves, I probably would go with Gardevoir. It has that double resistance to fighting type. On top of that, massive damage, especially if it's cloudy out. Now, Mewtwo's DPS with Shadow Ball is around 41 or 42 damage per second, so that is insanely good. But if you run into a normal type, you're not going to get walled, not in this game, because Ghost still affects normal type in Pokemon Go, but it's going to do very little damage, right? With Gardevoir, Confusion, and Dazzling Gleam, there's things that are going to not be very effective, like, you know, maybe Steelix, but I mean, other than that, so far what I've done with Gardevoir and the tests that I've done, it has just been able to run through everything like a hot knife through butter, just like, wow. Massive output of damage, and it could take a fairly good amount of hits. Okay, so with that said, let's go ahead and check out this last battle, and then at the end, I was trying to do a Gengar raid with just two Pokemon, a Tyranitar and a Groudon. I could have done it. I was gonna do it. I was in the car with my buddy who was trying to do it too, and he's seen what happened. Shadow hit after shadow hit after shadow hit. It had Shadow Ball too. So if you're trying to do it with two Pokemon, you may want to do two Tyranitars, dodge every Shadow Ball, and your Tyranitars have to be almost nearly maxed out. Alright? With Bite and Crunch, and you can probably do it. Not probably, you can do it. Granted, you don't get Shadow Hit. If it has Sludge Bomb, you should be able to do it a lot more easy, because, I don't know, I think that's the easier set. If I go in there with Mewtwo, I can do it, but I didn't pick him because Shadow Ball is just a killer. Anyways, with that said, that's what I'm going to do at the end. Hope you enjoyed this video. Just a fun little comparison. Not trying to get down like crazy. Just, you know, doing a little comparison. Gardevoir versus Mewtwo. They're both good on their own, but when it comes down to it, Gardevoir, I feel, is, I don't know, it's more accessible, obviously, so there you go. With that, Mewtwo is an amazing Pokemon nonetheless. They're both their own thing. Like I said, I don't think there's either a better one, this or that, but if I had to go into a Machamp raid, I would probably pick Gardevoir. With that said, take care, enjoy the rest of this video, I'll catch you all later.